You guys have seen the thumbnail. You know what's up. Avengers Tower in today's episode. Let's just get into it. Hello and welcome to Bricks and Toys. I am Brandon and I am very, very tired. I started my day today at 4:45 in the morning. And the reason I started my morning so early was because I was informed by the Lego store that they will be opening up at 9 a.m. And they are expecting quite a turnout. Actually, instead of me saying what the Lego store had to say, let me drop in a clip right here.
Joe, Lego store, how can I help you?
Hi, I have some questions about Friday, and I was wondering if you could help me with that.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so for one, I would like to know what is your hours on Black Friday?
So we're going to be open from 9 to 9.
Okay, 9 to 9. And do you guys plan on having the Avengers Tower in stock?
We will have them while supplies last. We do expect a pretty high demand of them, but we will have them at opening.
Okay. And based on experience, how early do you think someone could be at the mall to be waiting in line?
I think the extreme is going to be 6 a.m., but I think most people will get here around 7, 8.
Okay, perfect. That's all the information that I really needed to know. I appreciate it. Thank you. That clip that I just dropped in was a clip that was going to be the intro to today's video. You see, guys, I was going to wake up at 4:45, get to the Lego store, be first in line, sit out on some lawn chairs for 3 hours, so basically from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. when they open. And while I was in those lawn chairs, I was going to film the whole video. Hey, look, I'm in the mall, Black Friday, blah, blah, blah. I'm first in line. We're going to get the tower. We're doing this video. But that's not at all how today went. And now this has nothing to do with Lego, but this has to do with my mall. Now my mall is off of the strip, so there is a security concern, so I don't really blame them for their security. If your stores are opening up at 9, which is earlier than normal, which is usually about 10 p.m. on a Friday, so you're opening up an hour early. Usually that means you should start letting people in an hour earlier. But you see, they have a cutoff time, and that is about 8 o'clock. They don't want no people in the mall till 8 o'clock. And that's period. It doesn't matter if they open up at 9, 10, or 11, like on the weekdays. You're supposed to be there at 8, and that's it. So when you come to Lego, and you are waiting outside for the new releases, usually around 8 is when they let you in. That really sucked, because then what that meant is I didn't get to film the beginning of the video like I wanted to, and I had to sit outside for 2 hours. Because what ended up happening is they ended up basically telling us that we can't be in the mall till 9 actually, when the stores open. What happened is a little bit towards 8 o'clock, I decided after watching a whole family go in and not come back out, that I was not going to listen to that security guard anymore. So I just said, I'm going in. After about an hour and a half of sitting outside. So I pack up my lawn chair, throw it into the car, and I head inside. And what I ended up doing is just walking laps around the mall, just moving. Hey, look, I'm in line at Apple, because Apple has people in line. For some reason, we can't be in line at Lego, but they can be in line at Apple. So I'm in line at Apple. Oh no, now look, I'm in line at Starbucks. And I just kept on moving. And then about a little after 8 o'clock, the mall got busy. And then that's when I knew that no matter what I do, I could prop out front of the Lego store. Finally, I was first in line with another guy from my local lug group. Him and we were the first 2 people in the store to get the Avengers Tower. So that is how my morning has gone. I'm not upset. It's just been a really go here, go there, can't do this, can't do that kind of day. When on a normal Lego release day, you can do whatever the hell you want. So what did I get on this Black Friday? For one, guys, I got today's build. And today's build is clearly going to be the Avengers Tower. So we'll get to this in a second. So when you get the Avengers Tower and you're before the 40th person in line, you were able to pick up a Lego Creator Snowman. About a $5 value. Of course, you were able to get the Marvel promo, which is the taxi cab with the Black Panther and all that, or something like that. About a $20 value. You were able to get the Winter Market stall. About another $20 value. But wait, there's more. And Magisto's Magical Workshops. $50 to $65 in promos with the $500 Avengers Tower. What did I get that was on sale? Well, snooze fest, everybody. I got 2 more advent calendars. Advent calendars were a little over $31 US, and I figured, you know what? Why the hell not get more? Because we're doing a special advent calendar segment at the beginning of every video, starting December 1st. So, we got the Harry Potter calendar, and we got the Marvel calendar. So we got 2 Star Wars, 1 Marvel, 1 Harry Potter. Franchise love, jingle all the way. So that is the store haul. That is the story of my morning. Now let's get into the story of today's build. So everybody, the Avengers Tower. How we have waited and waited. And for me, I've waited only a year. But when I started doing Lego and I learned about the Daily Bugle and the Sanctum Sanctorum, I was wondering, where is the Avengers Tower? And how long you guys had to wait for the Avengers Tower felt like how long I had to wait, even though I was only interested in having one for the last 10, 11 months of being a Lego fan. So, it is here. It has something like 32 minifigures. Everything from Tony Stark to Iron Man's Mark 6, Mark 7, 2 Captain Americas, Thor, Black Widow, the Wasp, even Kevin Feige is in this set. We have Hulk, we have Dummy, we have Loki, we have Chitauri's, we have S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, we have Tony Stark undercover S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, we have Vision, Falcon, War Machine, Pepper Potts, Wong, Dr. Cho, Nick Fury, Falcon, Wanda, Hawkeye, Eric Selvig, Ultron, of course. Did I say War Machine? I don't even know. I'm just going off the list. It's just so many that you can't even remember. I saw this in the window, by the way, while I was waiting in line for the store to open. Boy, is this going to be a beautiful build, everybody. So, if you guys don't already know, it's set number 76269, coming in at 5,201 pieces. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it because I spent a lot of time talking about my morning. One thing I am going to say about this set, it is exactly how it was leaked. I really hate how this set came into fruition. It was leaked. When the way it was leaked, the numbers did not match, for the pieces that the set that was leaked. And I did not think this was real. There is a lot of experimental building techniques on this that you usually find with Japanese, Chinese sets. So thus, I thought it was a counterfeit fake. Usually, the Chinese will go out of their way and do something a little bit of extra to make their sets look a little bit better than a Lego set, whether it's offer a different range of sets or something else. So that's why I originally thought it was not real. I also did not really know the logo of the Avengers Tower and how they would brand that, and that to me looked a little off. But at the end of the day, the leak was not Chinese. It was what we're looking at. So everyone who commented what I thought, and I said it was a leak and I don't think it's real, well guys, that's why I thought it was a leak. That's why I thought it wasn't real. It's just because there's a lot of cool building techniques on this that I didn't know Lego would push themselves to do. The piece count from the rumor to the leaked picture did not match, and that logo just seemed a little off to me. The box obviously features artwork all the way around. It does have the dimensions of 34.5 inches tall and 13.5 inches wide at its widest point. This does fit on a 32 by 32 base plate, which is a 10 by 10 inch plate. Clearly, the landing pad for the Quinjet does lean over quite a bit. That will look really cool in the Lego City. I'm super excited to see how that actually works. So let's go ahead, let's cut open this set, and let's just take a quick look at our books. Hopefully, we can just go ahead and just get our books out, and that way we don't have to spend too much more time talking about it at this point. We can save everything for the actual review. Oh, look at that. The Avengers. I love the Avengers, everybody. 2012, that movie was just chef's kiss. And I don't think it's ever been really topped. Looks like we got some early onset bags up at the top. Actually, no, these are all mixed in. As you guys usually know, when I open up a Lego set, I always want to see if they put half of the build in one box and half of the build in the other box. Clearly with this, they did do that, but they didn't do it in the way of like how I normally like them to do it, to where it's these bags, this box, this bags, those parts of the box. These are bags 10, 30, 20. They really don't care. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to pour all these out, because our instruction manual is going to be in the secondary box of this. There's our secondary white box. Let's go ahead, let's slice and dice. There we go. Now let's see if we can get those books. Oh, we got some plating right off the top. Really cool. Some interesting pieces. And see, yeah, we got 26, 13. Here's the base plate we're supposed to be using with the set. It's a nice dark gray, but I already have a scheduled appointment with this Mills plate instead that we're going to be building it on. It is ready to go into its new home. Paper envelope, you guys know the deal. And inside, I am expecting some stickers. Let's find those stickers first and foremost. Oh yeah, stickers are sticking, everybody. There's 2. Something else in here. There's 3, but those are not stickers. What we actually have is 3 separate sheets of stuff. One being the Wasp wings and Vision's cape. So that is there. But then we have 2 sheets of stickers. Looks like a total of 51 stickers total, and I'm not going to sit here long enough to see if any of them are just double. But you can see everything from the Falcon's bodysuit in there to, you know, things that go on computer screens. We have all of those. We do have our 3 books, which is not too bad considering that some bigger Lego sets around this size come with 4. We have our QR code. Get our 20 points. 20 points for a $500 set. Woohoo! Of course, we have information about the build. And let's take a look. So the first book will take us through the first 11 bags, building the lower chunk. First 2 bags will build that Chitauri flying creature thingamajig. I will find the more exact names as I get down the build. I'm just really exhausted. I can't think of names right now. And then bags 3 through 11 build the lower half and gives us 8 minifigures. So in this book alone, we uncork 10 minifigures in this book alone. The next book, so we have 12 through 16 a building step. Then we build the Quinjet with bag 17. That right there nets us 4 more minifigures. And then bags 18 through 27 build another chunk of the tower and nets us another 7 minifigures. So with this, we build another 10 minifigures with that book. And the books are clearly numbered 1, 2, and 3. So there is no guessing which ones go where. Clearly, book 1 will have the QR code, but after that, you got to think about it. So, books 28 through 38 build the remainder of the tower and another 6 minifigures. Bags 39 comes with all the accessories to hang the minifigures off of the building. Comes with the Chitauri flyers, 3 more minifigures, and some really cool accessories that complement the set. How is this build going to go for you guys? Well, I am going to time-lapse a good majority of the build so you guys can see a little glimpse of the build while it's being done. Other than that, we're going to be back here after the time-lapse for the review process. So let's go ahead, let's get into that time-lapse. I'm going to take a few days to get this done, but for you, it's going to be a few seconds. So this is your captain speaking. So right now, we are on the first stage where we're just building the beginning things, such as the Leviathan. As you can see here, I'm just putting together all those nice pearl gold elements. And then, after we're done with this, we'll be on to stage 2. Now, as you can see, we're on stage 2. I'm doing the tiling and the base work. You can see that hot rod red brick. Yes, that is one of the building Easter eggs that you cannot see once it's built. That's why they use red brick. now you can see me putting in the lobby. And you can see things that are familiar, like the elevator shaft to the Daily Bugle. Here you can see me putting in those windows with the swiftness. And you can see some archways and supports going in over there. Now I'm building the next level. Again, elevators, chairs. There's Jarvis and Ultron going in right there. And as well as the Captain America shield with that famous scene. So now you can see a quick glimpse of me building the Hulk. As I build these minifigures, they just go right into a drawer, so my cat does not steal them. Here, looks like we are building the workshop for Tony Stark, which is a really fun room, one of my favorite of them all, with dummy and the fire extinguisher. And then, with that one, we are doing a shuffle around, and then we're on to the next level. Looks like I'm putting on some stickers here. So this would be the part of, I believe, bag 17 of building the Quinjet. The Quinjet was an okay build. It just seemed rather small and rather, I guess you kind of need it, but you know, that's up to you guys whether you guys want the Quinjet or not. Some people say it's the wrong one for the set, but it does not matter. And now we're back to building the tower. Woohoo! Bag 18. There you can see some Technic supports going in by Loki's cell. That is a good support brace for the landing pad, which I'm building right there. You see all that tiling work. And there's the lounge that we see in Age of Ultron. And now look how big that is. You can see some plant elements in there as it goes. Then there's a quick glimpse of me putting it together with some tiles. Now here I am building the very, very top. And now I'm building the very, very back. Some of these things go by really fast because I'm just building in the build stage and time-lapsing that stage, not breaking it down any much more than that. And now you can see me putting together the rings and the Iron Man suit and getting ready for all of the minifigures. And this is where I'm going to head out and lead you guys into the review. Okay, so I feel like that was a hell of a time lapse. So now we're going to start walking through all of the minifigures that we get in this set. And the first thing I want just to point out are these Chitauri minifigures. 2 have weapons, 2 do not. They have front and back printing on their heads and their torsos, but they have no leg printing. I do like the build construction in these weapons. I like the pearl gold elements on the little blaster rocket shooter. But other than that, they're just basic villain type characters with some really good detail. Next up is our range of Iron Man / Tony Stark minifigures. Again, this is another 4, so this puts us up to 8 minifigures at this particular point. Here we have Tony Stark with his Black Sabbath type t-shirt, and then here we have the battle damaged Mark 6 armor as well as the Mark 7. Now one of these, which is this one right here, does have his body in it, and then over here we do have the shield undercover Tony Stark over here. Now when we take off the helmets, we will see that every Tony Stark except for this one is just meant to be like a dummy version of him, which is the Mark 6 battle damaged. We will see that they all have pretty much the same exact face prints. These are blue to represent when he has his head in the helmet, where here they're just normal. So all of the heads are the same, as you guys can see. It does have that nice little feature where the helmet can pop up. I do have an extra hairpiece for this minifigure right here if I chose to put the hair on him. Or I guess I can put the hair on this one too if I decide that as well. So that is the Tony Stark / Iron Man minifigures. So one last thing I did want to note is all of these minifigures, except for the 2 on the ends, have excellent printing. I love the helmet, torso, and leg printing on the Mark 6 and the Mark 7. Back torso printing, but no back leg printing. Now, on the other 2 minifigures, we do have back printing on the shirts and front printing on the shirts, but no leg printing. Now, we are looking at another 4 minifigures, bringing us up to now 12, and this is a mixture of characters throughout the series. on here and here, we have the two S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Again, front and back torso printing on both of those pieces. And they both have their helmets and no leg printing. Both are carrying the same type of weapons with cuffs. In between them is Eric Solveig. He does have a front and back torso printing, no leg printing, but he does have two faces. But then last and definitely not least, we have Nick Fury. Now Nick Fury does have front and back torso printing, front leg printing on his piece. He does have his eye patch, which has a string that goes around the back of his head. He does come with a gun and a walkie-talkie. So now we have our next 4 and I guess 5 minifigures, thus bringing us up to a total of 17 now at this point. Now with this range, this is the questionable range. So we're going to start off with a Kevin Feige minifigure. I thought this one was actually pretty clever, pretty cool, because he is the man behind the MCU. He is carrying a pizza slice with a coffee cup, and if we turn around, he does not have dual head printing. He does have back torso printing, though, as well as the front. Next is the Wasp. I guess the Wasp is in here because she was in the comic book of the Avengers. That's why she is included. No leg printing, but she does have torso printing, as well as these really cool winged elements. And I do believe she does have back printing on that torso as well. You can take her helmet off, revealing her face, and a double face as well. And you can put her hair on as well. So she does have those options. Going down in the realm of the Wasp, we do have Ant-Man right here as his Ant-Man self. Good luck seeing that out, but you guys have seen this minifigure before, or microfigure, so no big deal there. Next we have Wong. Now, Wong is in the set, I guess, because the designers felt like to include him, he has to show Hawkeye that you don't put mayo on a hot dog. So thus, his character does come with a tiny little hot dog. So that's kind of really strange, weird, but you know, that's the fun with Lego and Marvel. And Wong does not have a double face. Now, another one that does not have double face, but a ton of stickers, is going to be the Falcon. Now, the Falcon has 4 printed stickers with a nice tile piece in the middle making his wings, and another 4 tile pieces or sticker pieces on those right there. He is carrying 2 guns. He does have front and back torso printing, front leg printing, no back leg printing, and he only has 1 face, but he does have that really cool little goggles. Wong, I forgot to say, does not have any leg printing, but he does have that torso printing front and back. So that's now 17 minifigures. Let's get our next batch. So next we have the ladies. Can we get it for the ladies in the His House? So here we have Helen Cho, Pepper Potts, the Scarlet Witch, and the Black Widow. So now let's take our time. Let's start off with Helen Cho. No leg printing. She does have that little needle in her hand. Front torso printing and back torso printing. But she does have a second, more worried face. Next up, we do have Pepper Potts. Now, with Pepper Potts, no leg printing, torso printing. She is carrying her little tablet of the agendas and all of that, like she is known for. She does have a angry face, which is to be expected. She does have Tony Stark as a husband. And then she has her normal face right there. There we go. Next is the Scarlet Witch. Now, with this, she has more of her Age of Ultron-like look. She does have her little magic coming out of her hands. She is on a little riser. Front and back torso printing. She does have a little skirt cape, double face. And with this is her magic face, obviously, and no leg printing. Next up is the Black Widow. Now, she is carrying a gun of some sort. She does have front and back torso printing as well as sleeve printing, and she has front leg printing. Of course, she will have 2 faces. So that is now 21 minifigures. Let's keep on trucking, everybody. So now, coming up to 24 minifigures. We're starting off with Vision. Now, this Vision is phenomenal. It does have that translucent leg printing. I love the color choices with him. And not to mention, he has that really cool plastic cape with all of that printing. Next up, we do have War Machine. Now, War Machine, he does have his leg printing, front and back torso printing, as well as having that little blaster that comes up over his shoulder. He does have face printing, but no back printing on his head. So he's only one face only, everybody. Like with Iron Man, his helmet does open up just like that. Next up, we have Hawkeye. Again, front and back printing on the torso. He does have his little arrows, but only front leg printing. His arms are tanned out because he does not like to wear sleeves. Looking at his head, he does have that front face right there, as well as no back face. And then we have Loki. So here with Loki, we have front and back torso printing, as well as a green cape. We do have front leg printing. We do have this beautiful pearl gold horn element. I really like this. I think it's really cool. But we do have the captured Loki face as well. Get our next 4. So, next up is Captain America, Alexander Pierce, and the Ultron. This brings us up to 27 now. Now, one thing I did want to mention is Loki does have an extra hairpiece. I forgot to mention that on the last part. So now, we do have the 2 Captain Americas. They're very similar, front and back torso printing, but they do have different heads. His head's more blued out with the same type of face as this head. Same thing with the front. But with this one, he does have a helmet, and with this one, he is rocking his do. And also, this one does have his shield, but this one does too. We'll see that later on in the video. Next up is Alexander Pierce. No leg printing, torso printing, front and back, no back head, just one face. And then we have the Ultron in his first form. This is when he comes out and breaks up the party. He doesn't last too long in this form before he goes back into the system. But we do have that really cool Avengers logo and everything, front leg printing, back and front torso printing, and also back and front head printing, just like with the Chitaris. So that is a really cool minifigure. So that brings us up to 27. So I may have lost count there for a minute, but now we're looking at minifigure number 30. Now, he is the Hulk. And I guess the big deal with this big dude is you can now remove his hairpiece and his head. I guess that is one of the cool new features with this minifig, even though he is quite a big minifig. But, you know, the Hulk is a big dude. He does have his gray little shorts on. He does have his nice little angry man face. It does look like you can put some stuff on his back if you choose to. But overall, he seems really cool and exciting. Number 31 is going to be Thor. They say the best for last. Now, he does come with this really cool thing that looks like he's throwing his hammer with the lightning, which is really cool. Now, I do have him with his blue eyes on when he gets his lightning thing going on, but he does have a secondary face as well. It's kind of weird. He is showing some gray in his beard. He does have front and back torso printing, but he has no leg printing. This is the first minifigure you build out of all of these, and he is kind of like the least exciting out of all of them. Now, with these minifigures, you do get a wider range of hangers that we're now going to use, and we're going to hang up these minifigures. But before we do that, I just want to say we do have the portal ring for Wong. We also have the armor coming down to catch Tony Stark that we're going to include. We also have a Chitauri fighter as part of the set. And then we have another Chitauri fighter with a chariot attached for Loki. Really cool. And then we also have the Leviathan. Now, I do want to talk really quickly about the Leviathan. It's a lot of pearlescent elements with a little bit of purple mixed in there. These stand pieces are from the Avatar Lego sets. But overall, this guy does have a lot of moving parts. Every section of him is movable, but he does break off really easy. Really cool detail, and I guess he is in scale with the tower when you consider how big the tower is. One last thing I did want to talk about is the taxi cab. So let's go over, let's watch a quick time lapse of the taxi cab right now. So looking at the taxi cab, it is an okay taxi cab. I did not get the taxi logo with my set. I'll explain that more here in a second. We do have the Black Panther right here. We do have a nod to the set. It is a really long wheelbase taxi cab, but it is within the 6 studs of a normal city of what we would want. We do have some nice taxi printing right there with a minifig pretending to be the Statue of Liberty. Overall, it's a really lackluster kind of vehicle, but we do have a briefcase, an Avengers cap, which is a nod to Kevin Feige, along with his pizza. The other minifigures we get with this set are 2 riders, I believe that's what they're called, from Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. And then we do get a taxi cab driver, also holding a pizza and a coffee cup like Kevin Feige. The one really interesting thing about this promo is its packaging. It does come in with this box with no marking. The book literally is the packaging. So once you put the book in, like so, that is your external packaging. And then the pieces come in a Ziploc bag. So this is why I don't think I got my taxicab logo. I think these are super small ran, and they don't really have all the pieces correctly. I got this 1x3 tile instead, and I think that was supposed to be my printed taxi plate. But no big deal. I'm going to keep all the extra pieces and everything, since it is a Ziploc bag, in this box, and then I'm going to save this box just in case I ever decide to sell that taxi cab, because it does seem like they are going for a good bit of money online. So now, let's go and put all these minifigures up on the tower, and let's do our tour of the tower. Okay, so now, let's just go over and let's look at the tower. There we do have our Quinjet. As you guys can see, I placed all the minifigures. And you guys have probably seen the reviews about these minifigures, the armor catching Tony and all of that, and the Hulk smashing out the windows. So I'm going to leave that for you guys to already know. There we have the in-game Tony Stark with the Tesseract coming out. Hulk, Jatari Fighters, we got that wonderful A. There we have Solvik up with his little contraption. There's those Chitauri Fighters with Loki. Coming up again. I love the blue elements on this set. I just think it looks incredible. And then there we have Nick Fury in the back. Also at the top, we also have Thor with a Jatari. So to get this party started, we're going to start off right here. Here we have one of the first rooms. This is where they're doing the investigation on the scepter. So that is really cool. That's a little fold down flap. Here we have a cover. It's kind of hard to get out with one hand. But this is made of flex tubing. So it flexes. And there we get our first look of some things inside. There is a electric tile in this little box back there. That is one of the Easter eggs. And then we do have a copy of one of the first Avengers comic books that features all the characters in this set, from what I've heard. Next up, we do have another little roof tile to get in. And here we can see that famous lounge area of where they were having drinks, testing the hammer. Cap got it up a little bit, but then towards the end of the Ultron, we found out that Vision was the one that could lift the hammer as well. And there we have the rest of the little porting area for the Quinn jet. So now you open this thing up the rest of the way by kind of like lifting and finagling this big cover off the back. Once inside, we will see the chamber of which they hold Loki, even though it's not in the tower, but they still included it in here nonetheless. There you will see the computer of Zola, as well as newspaper article that says, "Who is Iron Man?" Fun fact, in the Spider-Man set, there is a bucket within a few tiles. There's a tile that says, "Who is Spider-Man?" So we see the article here, and if we come around, right there, in behind that tile, is the bucket. It's kind of hard to see without taking apart the set. Coincidence? I think not. Going into Tony Stark's workshop, there we have our 30-second minifigure. It's Dummy. And yes, he does have his fire extinguisher at the ready over there in the back. Right now my camera wants to focus on that Mark 6 armor and Pepper Potts. Let's see if by taking them out, give you guys a better look. So taking you guys on the inside here, you can see the elevator shaft. And that's one thing I forgot to mention is the No Hulk elevator stickers on that level. Coming down, we can see references to the arc reactor. We can see a sticker back there. If it zooms in, that's the version 2 of Ultron. Then we have some diagrams. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Popped in a Roxanne, an oil can, a wrench. There we have that fire extinguisher. And then we have proof that Tony Stark has a heart, as well as some Iron Man little statues. There is money hidden on top of the elevator on this level. And I think up here there's a coffee cup on this one, but that's buried within the set. And then coming down to the next level, we have Ultron and Jarvis just chilling in their computer version, digital versions, whatever you want to call it. There we have that glass archway kind of breaking up the room. We have Cap's lost shield. And then back there we have Helen Cho with the medical area, with a whole bunch of other Easter eggs on the screen and things of that nature. And then we have the iconic scene in Endgame where Captain America is looking at his ass. So that's a very common Easter egg with this set. So that level has a lot of cool little details in it. And then on that computer screen, if you can spot it, you can see where the armor is coming down, like when the set is got its back on. And then down here at the very lower level, we have Pym's Vita Rush drinks. Pym is the Pym Tech from Ant-Man. And then we have the computer of the reception area, as well as the Tesseract right there on the ground. We have some seating chairs as well. And there it is, one more time, all put together in all almost 36-inch, 3 feet of its glory, as well as its extra little promo. One thing I did want to point out with the books really quick is if you look at the back of the books, you can see the R is loose, then the S is loose, the C or the R is gone, the K's fallen loose, and then by the third book, it's just the A for Avengers Tower. That's a fun little Easter egg towards the 2012 Avengers movie when they turned Stark Tower into the Avengers Tower. And one last little Easter egg I did want to ask you guys what your opinion was coming up around here was, do you think that's the villain's bird from Iron Man 2? Or do you think it's just a Lego bird like they all do? I think it's the Lego bird like they all have. But it'd be curious to see what you guys think about that little bird. So there we have the lineup. Ain't it a beautiful thing? 1, 2, and then 3. When I first built the Bugle, I was like, this is massive. Did not think it could get any bigger than this. But then I built the Sanctum, and that pretty much secured that thought. And here we are today with the Avengers Tower. And boy, when you look at it from this point of view, it really brings it home. Now, I did take all these buildings out of my city because I have to move all these buildings around to accommodate the Avengers Tower. And I will show you guys why in a minute when I get this integrated and I show how we integrated it. One really good question that I had was last night. I was at Bricks and Minifigs. I picked up a Iron Man helmet and some other odds and ends, a Big Ben for my mom. And the guys at Bricks and Minifigs asked a very, very good question. How does the build stack up to the Daily Bugle? And that's in reference to the windows. You see, the Avengers Tower has over 250 of these dark smoke windows, where the Daily Bugle probably has 200 or more of these little C-shaped windows. Well, the thing is when you build the Bugle, there's the thing of like too much pressure, things go boom. And it's very annoying when you build the Bugle. But with this, with all the windows and the glass, it's a breeze. If I had to build one of these two right now, all over again, even though I just did it, I would clearly rebuild the Avengers Tower. This was so much fun, and it was a much preferable building experience than the Bugle. The Bugle is a smaller building, but those windows are just a pain in the arse. Now, I will say these window panes are featured throughout this build as well, but not in the quantity of this building. And one really good thing to know with the Avengers Tower is these black smoked windows, they have a casting imprint that's like a white dot. And what I did from the subconscious of my mind when assembling all 250 of these windows, I just told myself, white dot at the top. So as I put it in, I put the white dot facing backwards at the top. So that way every single window pane was lined up exactly. I do like the fact with the Avengers Tower, they did continue the windows up here, but they turned them around so they are sideways instead. I thought that was really cool. And I'm looking at this right now, and I think I actually may have made a building mistake that I will have to fix later on. I think I got these windows actually turned around in the incorrect order. I've been going through a lot while building this Avengers Tower. The lack of sleep and messing with my sleep schedule to get up at 4:45 in the morning to get it was, and it has been, quite a trip. As well as I'm in the middle of doing some serious reading of Harry Potter, so thus my focus levels have not been the best. So guys, that is the tower compared to the Sanctum Sanctorum. It looks incredible. These two, as you guys will see here in a few moments, will be butted up against each other in the Lego City, and then this one will be behind, I believe, the Sanctum Sanctorum. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to put this all into the Lego City. But before I do that, I just want to tell you guys, if you are really on the fence with this set, I will say it is an excellent buy. It is worth every penny. The Easter eggs are incredible, and the 32 minifigures, even though some are a stretch like Dummy and Ant-Man, they really make everything come to life with this set. So that's my recommendation on this. If you haven't done it, do it. Or just wait for some points days if you're that type of person. Then take those points to church and get that set. So now, let's go and put this into the Lego City. We're in. And it's not where I originally said it was going to go. Originally, I said it was going to go where the Bugle is right now. But there was a huge problem. I need a sidewalk that goes through here. If not, it just looks really stupid. And the tower does not have a sidewalk. That light bluish gray portion is as far as it goes on its base plate. So I moved it over here where there is a sidewalk built into the Mills plate for the road, and now that looks perfect. I like how that stone sign, that is the memorial of the Battle of New York, blends in really good with the sanctum. And that little block of marble buildings, it works, guys. It really does just work. Of course, we got our alley of villains and heroes and mischief. We got Nick Fury on that end, Sandman on that. Just really cool stuff. Backdoor news dealings. The only thing I really don't care too much about is the fact that some characters are just in doubles, but hell, you know what? It's all about the multiverse these days, right, everybody? So that is the video. The story of the day I got it, the time lapse, the unboxing, the review of the minifigures, the review and the time lapse of the promo, and the overall tour of the building, what Easter eggs that I could pick off the top of my head pretty quickly. That is everything in one video. One thing I didn't state is I did put the taxi cab out front with the Black Panther. Sure you guys saw that. And I did put the riders that come with the taxi cab up here on top of the Bugle. Who knows what they're up to. I'm super happy. I cannot believe how great this looks. This is something else, everybody. And I'm really glad that I get to do this. It's just really awesome. And on the terms of doing this, I just want to say, guys, if you guys are enjoying the videos and enjoying builds like this, there is a thanks button down below. You can hit that and leave donations. You also are free to comment on what builds you guys would like to see on the channel, and also comment your thoughts about today's build and how it integrates in the city. And on that one, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and you all have an excellent rest of your day.